Hello everyone, this is Seah once again. I've got to bring my mic to my lab today. So I'm going to do it without the mic. So if the voice quality is not good, please bear with us, right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to compare the same shot quality, the same shots, which means the same coffee beans, the same grind setting, the same RPM, the same portafilter, the same basket, but then runs on two different machines, which is the Data S versus the Lita BA version, which is the higher spec dual pump version. So let's see under the same profile, how does the two coffee fare? Are they very similar to each other, or actually are they very different from the tasting note aspect? So let's do it. Okay, so currently I'm grinding at 150 or 149 micron at 500 RPM. So I'm going to use the same setting and the same amount of coffee bean so that it will be consistent. So let's first dose the two coffee, 18 gram each. This is our blend number 1, which is our Inferno Java version 2. Okay, there is one thing that is different between the two though, which is the shower screen. I've upgraded the shower screen on the Data S to the Posada one, whereas the Lita is still on the stock Wendougee shower screen. So I'm gonna change the Wendougee shower screen to the Posada one as well. Alright, so now the grinder is on. I'm gonna pour in the beans. Almost no static, I would say. While waiting, I'm going to measure another 18 gram. Alright, and then bellow. Okay, the motor actually reversed to purge out the coffee. So that's the first one. Okay, let's put that on the Lita first. So the basket is the same basket. I'm going to do a very simple prep. I'm not going to do WDT. I'm just going to use my finger, sort of redistribute the coffee. I'm going to use what comes with. Spin it, sit down, and that's it. And then I'm going to use a park screen. I'm going to use park screen for both, right? So done on the Lita. So now let's move on to the Wendougee Data S. Same thing. I'm going to grind the same amount, 18 grams. Okay, that's done. So make sure I dry all the basket. Right, so just use your hand, tap it, make sure everything is level. Same thing, you just gently distribute it, press it down. Where's my park screen? Yes. Screen is here, exactly the same part screen. Check it out. Okay, so basically both are done. So let's move on to the extractions and then we will try the coffee. So right now I'm using my profile for the first slide. It seems to work very well. It's a level shot, which means that the pressures go, I usually do a 2 bar pre-infusion, shoot up the pressure to 9 bar and then gradually change the pressure down. Right, so let's see how it works. Right, that's the sound of gear pump. Right, pretty well extracted, I would say. There's no, maybe a little bit of channeling. Right, let's see how much volume it's going to cut. Right, at about 33 grams of espresso. So this is 18 grams in, about 33 grams of espresso out. Right, let's move on to the Lita. Okay. Let me key the password. Okay. Right, so on the Lita I'm using my son's phone actually. So it's a little bit different, smaller. So I'm going to do the same. Right, same profile. There's the sound of the vibratory pump. Pump is acting on. There it goes, extraction. There's a little bit of channeling. Right, it could be due to the pulp preparations. Right, so I'm going to do a few shots just to compare. So this shot is definitely different from the Data S. Right, but most importantly, will the taste be the same? This is extracting about 34 gram, using about 24 seconds. You can see the difference here. And on the Data S, it is extracting about 33 grams in about 34 seconds. So definitely, I think the difference may be due to the shower screen. I'm not too sure, but let's try the coffee first. Alright, so how does it taste difference? Let me try, right? So this is the one from Data S. This is from Lita. Right. Color looks very similar to each other, but let's give it a try. Ooh, even though this is as a Robusta blend, it is very robust, very full body. Sweetness is there, finishing with a little bit of bitterness. I would say this is almost like perfect shot. Let's try this. I'm going to expect a little bit of acidity from here. Oh, there is actually a certain acidity, but I would say the acidity is not making the coffee taste bad, but it's actually giving the coffee a little bit of more complexity rather than just very chocolatey and nutty shot. There's actually some sort of acidity, which is pretty pleasant, I would say, in this shot. Let me try again. Still very nutty, but there is a hint of acidity at the back. So basically, end of the days, I think both machines are able to produce very good coffee. I'm going to continue to test both of them. And in fact, I believe now the only thing that could be different could be the shower screen that I've installed. So let me show you the shower screen which I've installed on the Data S. Right, so currently this is the shower screen I'm installed on the Data S. Right, so you can see the screw actually flush with the shower screen, so that there's nothing protruding out anymore. So let's look at the Lita one. Right, but before that, let me remove the polyfilter. Right, so you can see on the Lita, this is the original shower screen provided by Wendougee. Right, you can see there is a screw protruding out. So I find that this screw always damages my my park screen. So definitely I'm going to change this out to something that flush with the shower head. So in contrast, I would say the main difference between these two is definitely the pump, right? And Data S is built for semi-professional use, and when I say professional, means in a professional setting whereby you need to push coffee after coffee. Lita, where it runs on the dual vibratory pump, the BA versions, right? You can hear the pump. So in terms of the ability to push coffee cups after cups, I do not know how much you can handle, right? But I will be the one that's going to test it for you, I hope. So I'm going to continue testing the machine to see how many shots I can get from this machine before the performance. Will it affect the performance? I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty confident on the Data S. As long as I have water in the tank, it will be able to push cup after cup. Finally, I want to show you how the steam power is different. Both machine now is set at 125 degrees Celsius of steam power. So when it comes, okay, right now I'm just going to show you the steam. Of course, on the Data S, the steam is actually activated by this lever switcher, which is, I love this setting. Right, so this is the steam from the Data S. You can see it's definitely a lot more powerful. Right, now on the Lita, right, you can see the difference in the steam power here. This is definitely a lot weaker than this. So this thing can really steam very fast. The Data S can steam equally well, right? But you have to activate the steam button on top. So sometimes it may be a little bit challenging, especially you are focusing on the steaming, and then you have to switch off the steam. So I will continue to test both machines to see how they perform against each other, and then I'm going to continue to play with the Wendougee Milo plate grinder. It seems to be a very capable and very clean grinder. It gives me a lot of controls over the RPM, as well as the grind setting and the adjustment on the the knob at the right hand side. So this now enable me to communicate with different people about the micron size I'm using for the grinder. So thanks for joining me. This is Seah once again. Stay safe and drink more good coffee.